creating something very, very different for me. Now, I used to photograph bugs, and I had exhibitions all around the world with bugs. But just in amongst things, this is a bit of a butterflies that is just sort of starting to happen. And I just thought, I feel like doing a little something, something, but I'm not too sure what. And this was very impromptu, even more so, because I pressed live without meaning to. Now this, let me show you something. Can you see this? Can I get the glimmer to go? Just depend. Look at that. This is the Star Power ink in here. Wow. This is it here in this little weird. Look at that. Just makes me feel happy, I must say. Right. Terribly unorganised. Do you know what? I don't even know if I'm going to do a bug. I think we might. I might just play with this. Now I'm going to, that's yours. This is layer cake. And this is one of the Brush Ballet brushes. Sorry, I can't stop laughing at myself for being a fool. And oh, this paint, seriously. So layer cake is a sort of, there's watercolor and there's gouache and acrylic. This is sort of the imaginary triangle. And layer cake, it's sort of in the middle. You can add water to it, make it like watercolor, and because it's in pans like this or like this, it just makes it very easy to use. But it's got the opacity of gouache, which is, you know, opaque watercolor. Usually you get it in tubes. You can get those sort of pots of it now, but they're not my cup of tea either. But so gouache usually comes, and this is a hassle, gouache like that, only in my opinion, which means nothing, but you know, I am creating all the time. So I wanted to create something, and that was also layered like acrylic. So I've got acrylic under here, and this is going to have nothing to do with June bug. It's just I feel like doing this. And I just like to paint little faces to relax. Hey Carol, hey Julie. I know, it's a surprise. It was a surprise to me as well. I was playing around with the settings, trying to remember the password and all that, because I haven't done a live on YouTube for so long. And the next thing I knew, it said live, and I could see someone had said hello. I was just like, what is going on? Tell you what, YouTube make it nice and easy. It's a bit easier than Facebook. Anyway. So oh look, I can see her hair too starting to happen. I don't use black just straight away usually, but I'm going to. So the brush I'm using, this is a round 6, and I find a round brush, if I don't really know what it is that I'm wanting to paint, but I just feel like painting, a round is good. And this little size, I can't get into too much trouble. It's going to be good for little details. And this is what I'm talking about with this paint. Because this is quite watery, it's going to be more like a watercolour. But if I work the paint a little bit, it's going to be a bit thicker, and it's going to be a bit more like gouache. You know, I'm going to get that. Well, it actually gets a bit more opaque than that even. Oh, it's shot up in there. It's doing nice things. Thank you very much. And I'm going to use this colour. Now, do I want her hair to be like that or like that? I might go this way first, and then I'll use this to shape her face a little bit. And, oh. Yeah, so if you've got any questions for me as we're going along, let me know. I'm just going to, and this works really nicely on the gouache. And all this is leftover paint from a different day. And I feel like I need to explain everything because I'm on YouTube and you might not have seen me here for a while. So you might not have seen any of these new things. But this is the Joyful Gesso. And it's leftover bits and pieces from other paintings, something else that I've obviously been doing. And what I do is just put down the leftover paint that's in my brush, basically in a journal somewhere, so that if I want to come along and have a little relaxing moment, just creating some little faces. I've got the start of some little faces. I've got all nice different colours of skin that I can start with as well. So I've just got that natural variety happening already, and I can change these colours, of course. And because it's acrylic, it's very, very forgiving with whatever else I want to put on top of it, of other media. Oh, if you can hear any little tappity taps in the background, that's Sorrow, my little dog. Hey, Zoz. What have you got there? Oh, he's got something. I don't know what. It doesn't look dangerous, so that's all good. And this is very, very wet, so this is all going to run and puddle a bit, but that's all right. And then this little weird looking paint there, this was getting empty. And I had another little empty of a different, this is just a different size pan that I've got. And this is getting empty too, so I chopped some of this out and squelched it in there so that I'm just refilling that little, and then I travel with these. Look, it's got a mermaid on it. Why not? And then I can mix colours on the little thing. Oh, I've got to, sorry, deal with that, otherwise it won't shut up. My devices harass me. Do your devices harass you? Oh my gosh. Oh, I really want to add a little bit of a highlight there. And then let's get, I think this colour, maybe mix it with that one a little bit, just on my brush. And I think I'll leave that blue to come through there. And just have a nice little play around with some little faces. And I just love all these little streaks. I call it the sort of slapdash style of face. Oh, I'm just going to drag it down there. These are these are layer cake palettes. So these are, you might not have seen these before. So these are a different type of paint. It's a water soluble paint, but my watercolor is these ones are the new watercolors, if that's what you're talking about. So that's from the watercolor tubes like this. I'll show you. Oh, I get to feel like I get to show new things. Love it. So this is the new colour library, and it comes, look how cute the box is. It's got all the pigment info and all that sort of the professional business, because these are professional. And the lovely thing about a tube watercolour is you can put it any type of palette you like. So this is another type of palette. So I use this if I'm painting a bit bigger and I want to slop around the colours. This is much deeper wells. And you just pour some of that in there. You can also make sprays, and I've even put them in my fountain pen, and they're fantastic. In fact, I might use that in a minute. But if I use that on this paper, this isn't watercolour paper that I'm using. This is a journal called Bright Thinking from my collection. It's got the green cover, and it's got all these bright coloured papers. This is a really lovely, great quality card stock, but it's not a watercolour paper. And because watercolour is translucent, they call them transparent watercolours, but translucent, let's say, the paper is coloured. Oh, get your words out. It's just going to have a different sort of effect. So it's just not going to, it's going to do this sort of thing that you're going to see here. and I've picked the most opaque of the colours. The cobalt turquoises and things are always, this is a colour called 20,000 Leagues. It's very gorgeous. Oh, actually, no, that's Gulliver's Travels. This is 20,000 Leagues. Why wouldn't you have bright blue hair? But see, this is very translucent, this colour. So on watercolour paper, white paper, it's going to look totally different. Oh, we've got Princess Leia buns happening. But on the acrylic, it's still going to be very nice because it will sit up on top. But it's going to react differently on different things. So that's why I'm using the layer cake, because I'm going to have just a bit more translucency. So I'll show you the difference. So if I go over that acrylic, it's going to be opaque. So I can mix those two and get a bit of a darker colour. So does that answer, was that what you were talking about? 4 metal watercolours from one about a year. Oh, so that's, I'm really going to confuse you now. So the watercolour palettes that you've had from me, the little metal ones, there's a turquoise one, a teal one, a gold one. I've taken all of those little pans out, put them in here, and then I've put extra pans of all the new colours. So now I've got, so 10, 20, 36 plus 24, so that's 30, 40, 60 colours, I think, plus the white gouache I've got there as well. And these are all just on magnets. Put a little colour chart there. I can lift that up if I want to use that as a mixing tray. And then it's just a cute little vintage tin. So I've got all of the colours in one thing. So that's a different creature. But I don't want to confuse you, but I love to use about a trillion art supplies, and because that's just my choice. Might have her face going that way too. Let's use I'm going to mix, this is dark rum. So all of these colours that are in these two little travel palettes, this is the travel version of the big layer cake palette, which is this big guy. And there's 6 different ones of these. Some of them have got 2 colours in each pan, some of them have got 1, just depends on the palette itself. And so this is the sushi truck. Sushi roll, food truck is a different one. There's a neon set, a metallic set, a skin colour set rather. If you haven't, because I haven't been putting stuff on Facebook for a while, you might not have seen all the little, I need to concentrate on what I'm doing, don't I? Look, this is one of the lovely things about creating on acrylic. If I do something, I'm not concentrating, I don't really gel with what it is that I'm doing, I can just do that. Won't do the same thing on the paper because the paper has absorbed it. But if I put down clear matte medium, I give myself an out. But I might even just lift this off as well while I'm here, because I wasn't really concentrating, I was just doing stuff. Oh, and I like that better. Okay, I can see her face now. Her face just wasn't, it wasn't working. It wasn't working for me at all. So I'm mixing all my colours. I can't permanently damage them by doing that. It makes them a little bit messy, but to clean off a watercolour pan or a layer cake pan, just add some water, lift it off with a brush, use it. I might use this colour for her eyes. And obviously I'm not travelling, I'm sitting here at my desk, my little art table. And they're just handy. I'm an intuitive, not just artist, just doing whatever comes to mind, but also even with my art supplies, just like to dip and dive and wheel around. This is a colour wheel. This is the colour wheel version of the layer cake. And there's 9 of these and each one's a little different mood. This one's called Golf Pants. I know if you don't know who I am or what I'm doing here, it's like a whole nother language. Why not have neon pink lips? I mean, who wouldn't? If you had a choice, why wouldn't you? Oh, I love it with the darker skin. This little darker skin tone. And I need to let that dry off a little. I'll give this, I'll even give her this little bit of a shadow under her eyes there like that. The round layer cakes, these are all new colours. There are some that are repeated like white, and this is a mini version of the metallics lustrous eclairs. Not all the colours, this is a Tutankhamun palette. But if you go to my website, you can see there's a chart there. It's got all of the colours. I had it on my Instagram too, but you'd have to scroll back. It's just easier to see it on the website itself, and everything is there. And you can only get all of these things at on my website, which I love because I don't have to. That there are no other loops or obstacles or anything to get through. It's just me deciding what I think is cool and off I go. Yes, so these are, it's all the same sort of paint, it's just different ways of doing it. These feel fantastic in the hand. So this is a little neon, just a happy little palette of colours that are together. This is, I know it doesn't look like it would be, but this is an extraordinarily useful portrait palette. Really gorgeous colours for just about any skin tone. This is all shadow colours. So it's like a little, you want darkness, you grab this one. You want little quick face palette. This is the countenance palette. It's just got a whole bunch of the colours there. Want to do mermaid. This is the salty hair, the Seize the Day palette, S-E-A-S. So there's different, this is the heaven and earth. You want to do a little bit of a landscape. Just a nice little quick thing. You just got all the colours right there, bam. And then these little ones, these are cool mixing colours, warm mixing colours, black and white, and 2 other essentials, beige, which is just a nice mid skin tone, and neon pink. Like, why wouldn't you have neon pink? And then this one is a really fantastic portrait palette. Yes, okay, so the round clay layer cakes are what you have. Yes, great. Well, these are fantastic. The colour wheels, and then these are the little travel guys, and then these are the originals. And at the moment, any of the layer cakes, just doesn't matter what format or how many, we've got a gift for you, which is a new, like a special straw you can blow. Oh, we could do that for the hair maybe. That you can use for, it's just a special little gift that we've got going at the moment. And just something fun. And also, if you get the starter kit, which is the original 2, I just think this is such a good little starter kit because you've got your rainbow colours in this one, and then you can see I'm using that section there to mix colours, and this is a fantastic portrait kit. But if you like to draw animals or other things, just because I think of these things that way because that's what I think of. And then the lovely thing with these layer cakes is this is removable, so you can move them around however you like. If you don't like them in this format, in the way that I've got these colours, you can move them however you like. And then we've actually even got the labels as well. And then if you get this set, you get a set of ladybug dotters, which are a whole nother little ink thing, because they're another fantastic little thing. And if you decide to dive in and get all of the layer cakes, we actually give you all of the ladybug dotters, 24 of them. So that's these little ink daubers, and they're just 2 little essentials. So I just need to let these things dry. And I've got, I've already done a little bit of playing around here with white paint pen. Just love this colour blue back here. And I really want to get in there and tighten that up a little bit, but I have to let that dry, so I need to distract myself with something else entirely. I'll think about extraction too. Have you watched it yet? Oh, it was real. I loved it. It was really good. It was like an Australian Jason Bourne. It was awesome. So see, if I don't work the paint, it's a bit more like watercolour, and then if I work it just by stroking it a little, it just activates it a bit more and I get a creamier, and then I get, if I work it and work it and work, it just makes it more and more creamy, and then I get a little bit of a dry brush effect going. Do some little coral lips as well. Now what I will have to work out is how can I see this so I can see the comments without my computer. Oh, there I am. Ah! Right. Oh, and I can see the live chat. Oh, that's cool. Okay. Look at me. So thank you for being here. I'm testing this out as a new little system just to see if I might do my live streaming here or continue on Facebook. I'm not sure. It's a bit easier to set up. Just really need to let that dry. I tell you what, creating live, and I've been doing it for quite a long time now, it feels like that anyway. I really enjoy it, but I do feel like I've got to rush all the time because you've got to try and get through things or the live stream gets too long, and you just can't rush some things. You just have to finish things another day. But it keeps that creative pressure on you to keep moving. So it's quite a good little technique for loosening up, I must say, because you just have to accept what it is that you're creating. And yes, so this it's called Layer Cake. It's in the gouache watercolour. It's a water-soluble paint, so it's in that family, but technically it's not gouache. It's got a different formula, but it does what gouache does. But when it dries, the reason it's called Layer Cake is because the beautiful way that it layers. But you can use it with your gouache and with your watercolour. Oh, it's just not dry yet. Just have to. It's just a fantastic thing because it does exactly what you think it's going to do. It does, and it's just a terrific media especially for newer artists. If you're into watercolour, that sort of thing, it's just a fun thing to add to the arsenal. But, I love it. And this is not a watercolour paper here, just to show you the nice little opacity of such a thing. We can mix these two together, get another little colour happening. So the paper is going to be dragging on it a little bit. But as it dries, I can get up to thicker and thicker layers. And then when it really dries, it's almost like a liquid pastel. So what you can do is add some spray fixative to it and freeze it in time a little bit. Because in a book, you know, things can cross-transfer. So that's just another little thing we can now need to tighten this girl's little eyes up. Oh, she's... And what I've got here at the side, I call this, this is the drench sponge. I call it my Dame Judy, or Dame Judy Drench. And I'm using this to control the water that I'm bringing from my little water pot here. And her eye, what's going on here? So this is just the bigger palette. I've got a video on my website. Might have uploaded it to YouTube. I can't quite remember. And I've got a lot of videos. And I've got all of the 100 and something colours all out. And swatching them all out so you can see that they're all different and how they're different. All that sort of thing. So this particular palette's called Ice Cream Slice. That's one of the original two. Oh, this is too wet in there for me to get in and do what I want to do, but I need to shape this face a little bit. Concentrate a little. Because her eyes, we've got some funkiness happening, but I like this one. It's moody. Okay, that needs to... Okay. I think I know where we're going here. The journey. But see how nice... It's just... It's kind of... I can get a nice little layer up. This is the acrylic here, so it works very nicely over that. I didn't mean to just come on and talk about lake cake, but it is awesome, so that's all right. I love to talk about my art supplies. So even though this is still a bit soft and still drying, I'm just letting it shape up a bit more. What's going on there? And then if I don't like any of it, I just add water to it and take it all off and do something else. Oh, someone has asked about transfers. Yeah, dude, I already do them. I've got quite a few others, but these are all the new sets. And, oh my gosh, I love showing these. I'm just going to move these, let them dry. It's a great idea. Look how cute with the little envelope. So you've got a little reusable envelope. And this is some of the designs. There she is from the front. So that's one set. So that's called Kaleidoscape, I think, that one. So that's the newest one. We've got a bundle there where you can save when you get all three. This one's called, oh, I can't remember, Looking at You or something like that. I name a lot of things, but it's got faces, eyes. Look at the eyes, huh? Awesome. And I'll show you in a sec where I've used some of them. And this is the Loved Up set. I might have two sets in, but there's 4 different sheets and there's 2 of each design. I might have doubled this one up though because I was using a lot of these. I only had little ones left. So there's these 3 different sets. I do have other, but dry transfers or journal tattoos is what I like to call them. Some of my favourite things. That's some of them on the fabric. They work really well on that. And this is in the Levitation art journal, and they come with the little tool. Was it in here? I think I put them in here. Was it the other one? Oh, here. This is some of them in here. In here. I've just been playing with them. Oh, this is a new pen that I've got coming soon. So this is a it's the crinkleness, the crinkleality of it. This is Legends of the Sea ink that's sheen and do all sorts of crazy things. Yes, Spirit Junkie. So thank you so much for your question, darling. Hey, Elaine, how you going? I know. I was just testing the little YouTube channels. Did I put some at the front? I thought I did. But I just love working with, oh, here we are. Working with the translucency of the paper. This is some more here. This is actually the washi tape that's the eyes. Separate eye tape. You don't have to cut it out or anything. It's already done. Cut right to the edges. No white outline. So this has got layer cake, and this is the Legends of the Sea ink. It's so good on this paper. Can you see the sheening? This is very, very high quality ink. You can put it in fountain pens, and it does this sheening thing, but it's just so gorgeous to paint with. And this, all sorts of just playing around, making a mess. This is layer cake. This is that Golf Pants palette. Where is she? Or he? Yum. Fountain pen of some description, spraying with laces. This looks like a layer cake. Looks like layer cake. Fountain pen. I think this might be the watercolour in the fountain pen. Yeah, so this little journal is called the Window Pane Journal. And then there's, I think there's 9 different journals in the collection now. Some of them have sold out, but this is the Gods and Monsters ink. This is a different type of paper, and it allows the inks to do different things as well. But I just wanted to show you, this is the Legends of the Sea ink on this. And they're all named after pirates, famous pirates. This is Gods and Monsters ink. And using the Masquerade marker, the masking fluid, which is in a pen. And you can find a lot of these are from videos. And this is the new Roman set of the Gods and Monsters inks. Look at this gorgeous splitting and shading and gradiating. Oh, I might pull that out, that page, and put it in something else actually. Oh, that's Star Power ink. I did a video the other day about all the different inks on my Facebook page, and that's why I think I'm thinking inks. But anyway, this is Gods and Monsters inks with dip pens and other things. Oh, using the gold markers on top of the different inks. The metallic markers on them is gorgeous. This is layer cake and different inks in here. Everything goes together. This is all of the different Gods and Monsters inks. And if it sounds like another language, it kind of is. This was from the other day when I did a little live stream and creating this gorgeous background. So you can find that on it's public, it's on my artist page on Facebook. And then eventually, sometimes, I edit up the videos and then put them on YouTube, but that doesn't happen very often, I must say. I'm busy. So I'm just getting a bit more of this white, and I might try and even up her little eyes a bit. They're very uneven, aren't they? Well, you know, that just happens to some people. Oh, but I don't like finishing, especially if I'm drawing faces, until the little personality has started to pop out. Because I'd like them to, I don't know, sort of think of them as little people, I guess. If they're half formed. Well, they're still only half formed, but it's only in my own mind anyway. So thank you for joining me. That was just a little test, just to see how I like doing things. I just haven't done anything on Facebook on YouTube here for ages. Oh, Elaine says she loves her Gods and Monsters inks, the new inks. Oh, the new Pigments of Imagination. Oh, I just hit the camera in excitement. The Pigments of Imagination. I think I've pulled out all my supplies. No, that's impossible. I'd need more desk space. But I just want to pull them out because you talked about them now. I want to get there, so I'm just putting all my... Oh my gosh, I'm so organised with all my stuff. I have to be, otherwise I wouldn't be able to find anything. Okay, let me just show you. Look, these are the new Pigments of Imagination, and they're all named after figments of imagination. And the colours are heaven. And these are a permanent ink. There's the colours there. Will-o-wisp, it's my favourite one to do. Oh, and Goblin. I do love Goblin. Kelpie. Oh, sorry, Midgie. Bye. Goodbye. Right. Okay. Well, I think I might go, my friends. Thank you for joining me. It's very kind of you. And if you want to see any of what I've been using, you can. I've got everything's at janedavenport.com. I put a little link there so you can check it out. There's lots of videos there. You might be able to make your own substitutions, but I design art supplies and do online workshops and all that sort of stuff. And I love what I do. I like her little look. Oh, I've really knocked the camera, haven't I? There we go. Sorry about that. I love her little sneaky peeky look. Well, I always say goodbye about 7,000 times. Because I just can't stop doing the things. It's so addictive, especially creating little faces. Because they always stand out a little bit different. Now I'm just going to show you close up before I go, so that you can see all the lovely little different layers. Oh, she's got a full-on moustache. Oh, it looks so different under the light. But I kind of like it. I don't like her moustache. I think she would like to get rid of that. This is where it just goes on and on and on, isn't it, when you're creating? Because when it's finished, never. And now I just need to let that dry a bit. And, sorry, clicking the fingers at myself. Oh, Zorro. Well, I'm going to let that dry a little bit. Also, lips are coming forward a bit far, maybe. Oh, I'm never going to finish. It's too much fun. It really is. LoveStream, I had a really good play around with that, Spirit Junkie, and the quality was terrible, really was bad, so I didn't persist with it. But yes, what do you guys prefer? Do you prefer watching things on YouTube or Facebook Live? Like what is it? Yeah, just the quality just wasn't good enough with the restreaming. I tried a few and, you know, it could very well have been user error as well, but, you know, I kind of know what I'm doing. But it has to be fairly simple because I am just doing this on my own. So simmer and sit 3 dishes YouTube. Okay. Both. All right. Okay. Well, see, I love YouTube. I've got it running all the time. I put a thing to Instagram the other day. I forgot to take off whatever YouTube thing was going on in the background, and I had messages saying there's some weird audio on your thing. I was like, oh, right, yes, just something YouTube. I just let it run, and it's just sort of talking in the background sometimes. I like it. But I don't really watch Facebook all the. I mainly use Facebook for when I'm doing things. I don't spend a lot of time on social media, being social. I guess I'm doing it to do my artwork and use it like that. Oh, I love my Facebook group. Do you know I can't do a live stream into my own Facebook group? And Facebook asked me to pay to show my own video in my own Facebook group the other day. If I paid, then it would show it to so and so many more members. I was like, love, it's my own group. The shenanigans, I tell you what, the shenanigans are extravagant, really. So anyway, I find the fun around the bureaucracy. But yes, I love our Facebook group. It's wonderful. Well, have a wonderful evening, and thank you for joining me. And I had fun doing my little faces here with a bit of layer cake, and I shall see you probably back here, maybe on YouTube. I don't know. I'll see how I feel. Maybe both. Bye. Oh gosh, now I have to work out how to turn this off, seeing as I started it by accident. Be well. Bye.